Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk to you about the next generation price of games and also the price of the storage card or whatever you can get for your Xbox Series X. This is old news, but I haven't put my opinion out there on it, and I did a little while back have a couple of people ask me to do the video. I just never really got round to it and I've only remembered it recently. So to start off, the Series X. It has a memory card looking thing that looks like it's from the 90s. Like the little 8MB memory card you'd get for your PlayStation 2. Looks like one of those, but it's like an SSD. It slots into your Series X. It's the official Microsoft expandable storage or whatever. And it's going to cost $220. I really do not understand why they think that is acceptable. That is far too much to be charging. Especially when, realistically, you could just get a USB external hard drive, save all of your games to there, and then when you want to play one, just transfer it over to your internal. You've got a terabyte of storage on the internal SSD in the Series X. I'm pretty sure it will support your standard external hard drives, although I'm not 100% sure just yet. But there will be cheaper alternatives. I'm almost certain there will be, or at least I'm hoping there will be, because $220, what I really think Microsoft should have done is, instead of going £450 and here is your Series X with a terabyte of storage, we know that games take a lot of space. Example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare taking like up to 250 gig. What we're going to do is we're going to implement an internal SSD, extra storage, so you have 2 terabytes, and that's going to be an extra £50. So your pre-order, instead of being £450 for a terabyte console, £500 for a 2 terabyte. Boom. The price will drastically drop because it's already featured inside the console. Better for gamers. Microsoft are still making money. I know it's nowhere near as much, but there's going to be basically competition with that in the first place. They're not going to get away with selling them for that much. Like, people aren't going to buy that. I'm not going to go out and spend that much money. And I love having a lot of spare storage. Ever since I got my Xbox One, I went out and bought a 2 terabyte external hard drive. And I still have well over a terabyte of space left. I just always keep space on my storage because that's me personally. That's how I do things. But I will not go and buy this external storage for an extra terabyte. SSD or not. And then next up is the fact that a lot of games are increasing their price. The base edition, the normal standard edition of the games, some of them at least, will be $70. So I think that's going to be £65. I'm not entirely sure how much is going to be in UK currency, but I'm pretty sure US customers were paying like $60 for games and it's now gone up to $70. A lot of companies, or a couple of companies at least, have said it's because the cost of development is going up. I've said this time and time again. I've spoken about this in previous videos. All you got to do is make a good bloody game and people will spend money on microtransactions. They'll refer their friends, like basically pass on the good word. And word of mouth is one of the most powerful things in the world. You can't push out these half-assed games expecting more money for them. Look at Anthem, absolute flop. They're going to get a ridiculous amount of backlash if they try and charge for the overhaul because they fucked us over in the first place. Look at Avengers. They've just delayed content and they've delayed the next-gen versions of the game. At the same time, they're trying to say their confident players are going to go back. Their concurrent players within a few weeks were less than 1,000 players for like 2 days running. Because nobody cares, the game is broken. Look at Fast and Furious Crossroads. I looked this up the other day. 25,000 sales on Xbox One. 60,000 sales or 50,000 or something on PlayStation 4. I don't know how many sales, but there's like 45 reviews on Steam or something stupid. I looked at Steam charts. Concurrent players, how many people play in that game? Their all-time peak, so the highest amount of concurrent players since the launch, which was 2 months ago, 21 fucking people. £40 per copy, timesing that by 21 people that have played it at the same time across the entire world, That's £840 that game made. Paying for Vin Diesel to voice act is going to cost you more than 840 quid. That's the reason developers are losing money. That's why they're saying it costs more money to develop games. Apparently, I don't know how many of you knew this, apparently Fast and Furious Crossroads was in development for 3 years, and they come out with that shit. Their highest number of concurrent players, the sale cost, like if they're all £40 purchases, those sales accumulate to a total of £840. Let's just take their reviews. Let's say 45 reviews and we times it by 50. I read a long time ago, whatever amount of reviews there are, times it by 50, that's a rough amount of sales. 2,250. Times that by £40 a game, that's £90,000. They've not even covered 6 figures on Steam. Steam has a huge audience for games, a huge market, and they haven't even brought in 6 figures in 2 months. Just rough estimates, completely rough. So that's why my statement is put out there in my videos. That's why I will forever stick to it. Make a good game, make your money. If you put out something like, let's say Ghost Recon Breakpoint, not many players enjoyed the beta, weren't really feeling the sort of game, they're not going to make much money. Then Ubisoft put out Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Better marketing for the game. Or actually no, just for the sake of this example, same marketing. Exactly the same. Because the game reached a better reception, had a better reception, reached a nicer audience or whatever, they made more money instantly. If you look at anything in this world, the better it is, the better it does. If I create a YouTube video that's me sitting there like, oh yeah, hello, this is how you do this is how you do that. If I sit there and do that, I'm not going to get anyone sharing the video, no one will sub, people will be like, what the fuck are you doing? Because that sucks, it's bad. Whereas if I make a video with tips for something that people want to watch, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, how to get all the different lightsaber colours, 1.4 million views. The better you make something, the better it performs. So charging $70 for games because they've quote unquote become more expensive to develop, bullshit. And another reason I say this is bullshit is because one of the key points of these next generation consoles for developers is that they are easier to develop for. Whatever that means in developer code, whether it's less security so you can get updates out faster, whether it's easier to implement things, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, whatever, the dev kits that they use or whatever it might be. The people at Microsoft have stated it's easier to develop games on these next generation consoles, so their costs might stay the same. They might go up a little bit, they might go down a bit, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you're spending on something. If that money you have put into it has been put to good use, you will make a profit. It's a very simple term, and it's not hard to understand at all. So Microsoft charging $220 for storage or extra storage for the Series X. Ridiculous, unacceptable, give it to us cheaper. Or just lose out on sales altogether when the competition comes along with like third-party companies that charge a lot less. Games costing $70, obviously you have inflation, everything goes up in price, blah blah blah. But the reasons they are giving for increasing the base price of games is a load of shit. They're trying to blame players all the time. We've just recently had the creative director for Stadia say that content creators and streamers should pay developers in order to stream their games. So you get Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you pay £90 or £100 for the Ultimate Edition of that game. This creative director at Stadia wants content creators, let's just say it's an extra £50. They want them to pay the developers £50 in order to be able to have the rights and quote unquote buy the license to stream that content or to use that content on YouTube. This gaming industry is fucked. The corporate suits are making it even worse. The greed is becoming ridiculous. And what makes that even worse and puts the icing on the cake? The community don't stand for just them being fair. How is it fair to release these live service games that come with 80% of the content they're supposed to come with, a shitload of bugs, and then weekly updates which 9 times out of 10 or 9.5 times out of 10 breaks more than it fixes. It's happened with most of the live service games out there. In fact, I don't think I've ever really heard a success story of a live service game. But on that note, that's my opinion. No hate towards the companies or anything like that, or anyone in the community or anything. Just simply stating my opinions, putting my voice out there and letting you know what I think. Be fair to us gamers, because at the end of the day, without us, you're not a company. If you're a content creator or streamer, same thing goes for you. Be fair to your community. Without them, you would be nothing. Stay humble. Not hard to do. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.